Welcome back, guys. Let's start by ripping up a piece of paper. Just make it jagged, kind of up and down. Just keep kind of ripping it. Give yourself a few different strips to choose from because inevitably you'll like some and not others. So just give yourself a variety. We are going to draw some mountains that show some aerial perspective. And this helps us create this organic shape. Without this guide, these scratch papers as guide, I find that my students and I both make mountains a little too predictable than what they're found in creation. So we use these to help us get a more natural shape. I'm drawing fairly light because these lines are merely a guide. I don't want to dig into my paper or make it really harsh and scarred. If I like what I see, I will leave it. If I don't, I can just erase it and try again. You guys can make this as complex as you want to. I'm keeping it pretty easy, just making a handful of different mountains. The vocabulary word for the day is going to be aerial perspective or atmospheric perspective. It's the illusion that as we look through an atmosphere, that the moisture in that atmosphere creates layers of air. Think about on a foggy day, and it creates this illusion that on a two-dimensional surface that things are further away from the viewer. So that is one way artists can create depth on a two-dimensional surface, is by making either the value in the background or the color more desaturated as it transitions towards the background. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today, just in this simple little study. And as you can see today, we are just using pencil. We're not doing color today. But you could easily replicate this type of exercise with any media that you're looking to use and maybe create a landscape with it. This is a good test study to maybe get comfortable with your media. My lines are actually so light that I almost can't see them, so I'm going to give it a little more impact by using the side of my pencil and just strengthen some of these lines up and decide which ones I want to overlap and which ones I don't. So I want to see that one peek out there. And I think that's plenty for me today. So here's the definition, and we have a value scale right here. This is what I want you to think about as you're drawing or painting anything with depth or a great distance. So line up your value scale like this so that the areas at the bottom are going to be your dark values. And then as you go up on your paper higher and higher with the illusion of depth, then your value will get lighter and lighter. So I'm going to label each little strip or layer of atmosphere with different number scales that correlate with my value scale so that I know, hey, I need to stay in this range. And that will keep me true to the values that I need. I'm going to start in the background with a light dusting of graphite. Notice how I'm using my pencil tilted to the side, holding it between my pointer finger and thumb, and just keeping a really light pressure. Anytime I'm shading or blending where the space that I'm shading is bigger than a quarter is kind of my rule of thumb, I use a tissue. If it's smaller than that, I will pick up that blending stick or that blending stump. So as I move from background to midground to foreground, or if you're just looking at it on a flat surface from the top to the bottom, I'm going to increase my pencil pressure. So I'm going to press a little harder but I'm still going to use that pencil posture for shading. I'm also going to change my drawing pencil. So I'm going to move from a HB all the way to a 6B and let that lead become darker and darker, easier and easier to blend as well, softer lead. So that's what you're seeing here is I'm applying, blending, applying, and blending.